All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin. Okay, guys, so first and foremost, I want to talk about the Jerome Powell meeting that happened today with the economy, overall, the macroeconomics. And Jerome Powell did come out pretty hawkish today. He was talking about how the labor market is still strong, the unemployment numbers are relatively low, and and he also is concerned of inflation rising again with these tariffs that are taking in effect. Now, the Federal Reserve has a dual mandate. The dual mandate is to keep inflation down to around 2% or at 2% and keep the labor market strong, which means unemployment low. And the Federal Reserve said they're doing a pretty good job of this, but they are expecting another spike of inflation because of these tariffs. And he said in his meeting today that they are going to keep rates restrictive for longer because they think inflation is going to go back up from these tariffs, and the labor market is still strong enough to take it. What this tells us is that there is a lot of people that are waiting for the Fed to start quantitative easing, to start QE, to start printing money printer go burr, to start saving some of these risk-on assets that have had large dumps to the downside. And really what Jerome Powell came out and stated today and remained firm on today, that not only are they not going to print, but they are going to drop rates to zero before they start printing. And they're not even thinking about dropping rates at all right now. He said they are going to remain paused on dropping rates because of the tariffs and the inflation possibly rising again from that. And so it is a little bit more bearish for risk on assets. We want to see risk on assets like when the money printer goes burr, and they like when rates are lower. So Jerome Powell coming out today coming out pretty hawkish. I would recommend all of you go listen to that interview today. He is going to keep rates at the same restrictive level for longer. He is not planning on cutting rates anytime soon. And this is going to be a little bit of a bearish catalyst with inflation going back up for the risk-on markets, which crypto and Bitcoin is included in those risk-on markets. So I just want to say that my thumbnail is going to be a bit sensational today about, could we see a big drop from this? Now, that is the fundamentals and the macroeconomics that are going on. As far as technicals go, Bitcoin is looking pretty strong here, and I do think this relief rally is going to continue to the upside. We are at resistance, and you can see we are still just ranging within this little range that since Saturday's highs. We're ranging within a little range. We're seeing some bullish consolidation around the top of our descending channel and around the top of our bearish pitchfork here. But Bitcoin overall is holding strong. You can see it's still holding the point of control of our range from the 76.6 lows. It is above the point of control. It is flipping it to support. It's in the process of flipping it to support. And if we see this flip to support, we can expect a move higher on Bitcoin. We can expect a breakout finally of this descending channel, which has been holding us down time and time again. But what I would like to talk about, let's zoom in on the charts and let's look at what happened today in the price action. You can see yesterday we were coming down to those lows. We did not SFP the lows, which I think I said in yesterday's video, it would have been a lot nicer to actually SFP these lows to grab that liquidity, the range low liquidity, to see a bigger push to the upside. But because we front ran those range lows and we were pumping all day long coming up into this meeting, if we go ahead and take our golden pocket from yesterday's highs to yesterday's lows, you can see coming right up into that golden pocket right as the meeting was starting. We were seeing some bear divs on the chart, first of all, on the 12-minute time frame. So if I zoom in, let's go to that 12-minute time frame. You can see very clearly local 12-minute bear divs on the chart here into our golden pocket resistance. And with Jerome Powell coming out hawkish, we did see a bit of a quick move to the downside. We are recovering that move. We're in the process of recovering that move. But as far as trading goes, excuse me, guys. As far as trading goes, we are just playing this little range. Play the range until it breaks, right? So we came up yesterday and we took the highs of the range from Saturday. And then we still have not come down to the lows to take the lows of the liquidity at the lows of the range. So primarily what I'm looking at here is it's very possible that we see one more drop to come down to 83K to take our now triple lows, semi-equal triple lows. We have one here, one here, one here. 3 lows on the charts that are semi-equal. We have a lot of liquidity resting down below there. We also have a lot of liquidity resting right above our highs of this range. If we go onto our Model 2 heat map, you can see here right above our highs, we have that liquidity right into 86K there, 86,500, 86,600. And right below our lows, we have a lot of liquidity resting into those lows as well. So I am suggesting that it is possible that we could come down one more time to SFPR range lows, grab that liquidity before seeing the bigger breakout of this range to the upside, where I do expect us to continue to break to the upside, to continue up to some of those higher levels that we have marked out on the chart. If we look very, very locally within this range, like if we're just trading the range until it breaks. So first we can pull our volume profile of that range. You can see that we do have, yes, our value area high was right around our golden pocket, and that's part of the reason we got rejected from there with the catalyst of Jerome Powell coming out hawkish. But just above that, if I turn on the 786, you can see our 786 is in perfect confluence with our naked daily point of control that confirmed yesterday. So this is an area of interest for me to see a bit of a scalp short from this area. If we come up to this area first without taking out our 83K lows, I will be looking for a short here if we have confirmation. Like as we're coming up into this area, if we are seeing bear divs on the chart, we will look for a short to take down to the bottom of the range. Now, if we come down to the bottom of the range first and grab those 83K lows and see a successful swing failure pattern, that means wicking below, stopping out all the traders, and closing a candle at or above that level, I do expect the bigger push up and maybe for the range to completely break. No reaction at the 786 or very small reaction at the 786, maybe just something like we get that liquidity grab, we push up to the top of the range, get the reaction at the 786 and the naked daily point of control, and then back test our channel that we're breaking out of, which you can see is in kind of alignment with the point of control of the bigger range on Coinbase, where then we could see that real explosion to the upside, a bigger push to the upside. So as far as range trading goes, I'm only interested in the swing failure pattern at the lows and the 786 naked daily at the near the highs of the range. And other than that, nothing else in between. Now, as far as higher time frame levels of support and resistance go, let's go ahead and zoom out onto the 2-hour chart. I still do think, and I'm going to go onto my Bybit chart where we have this bearish pitchfork here. You can see that the value area high of our 76.6 lows range is a bit higher, and we haven't touched it yet. On Coinbase, we hit into it on Saturday. But the Bybit value area high is a bit higher, and you can see just above that, we have that fresh naked weekly point of control in confluence with our 886. Now, this 886 fib pull is from our 88 highs down to our lows. If we turn on that 886, you can see it's right in there. So I do think that this is an area where if we do break out of this small range, just like we're playing the overall trend from the lows, and the overall trend from the lows is bullish. So I do expect small reactions here, but really overall to continue up. So let's say we come down, we take the lows of this range, back test here, back test that 786, maybe up here, then do that, something like this. We could see a small reaction up here at this naked weekly point of control for the larger time frame back test, then to continue up higher to take our triple highs, semi-equal triple highs that are up here around 90K, and we also have that pitchfork midline up here around 90K. Let me go ahead and show you guys that. We have our anchored VWAP here from the all-time highs, right around these highs here, right above these highs. So SFP into our anchored VWAP and into our pitchfork midline. Now, this pitchfork midline, you can see this pitchfork's been highly respected. Let me get this off the chart real quick. Once we lost the midline, it was resistance, resistance, resistance. We could not get back above it, and then we dropped to new lows. Now, we came down to our major band of support. We saw 2 strong reactions from that band, and we have shifted market structure bullishly. And we were seeing higher time frame bullish signals showing us that we could see a bigger relief rally in play. Now, I do still think this relief rally is very possible to continue all the way up to 97K, but we play level to level as traders. So what I'm going to be watching for, at least, let's go ahead and pull our intermediate range now. From the end of the Bybit hack impulse down across, you can see that the value area high of our range is coming in right around these triple highs up here, and we do have that liquidity that is still resting. If we zoom out onto like the monthly chart, you can absolutely see that we have a lot of liquidity that is resting above those triple highs up here, even more on Bybit. If we go to the Bybit chart, you can see we still have that liquidity, and that is going to be acting as a magnet for Bitcoin to come up there and grab that liquidity. Now, once we come up there and grab that liquidity, we're going to have to see how it reacts. If we get a swing failure pattern of these highs into the anchored VWAP and the pitchfork midline, I will be looking for a short, but it would be a scalp short to maybe come down to the point of control to continue up higher. But I will look for shorts there as well. Overall, though, let's go back to Coinbase chart. If we break out of this descending channel, we could see that much bigger push up. And once again, the value area high on Coinbase is just a bit higher than on Bybit, but you can see that value area high is coming in right around those semi-equal highs. So we could push into that and see a small reaction there. But the two main areas that I'm watching for if we break out of this descending channel, I do think we can see a big push up. Now, the two main areas I'm looking for this push up, I am looking at this a little bit different from some other traders. A lot of traders are looking at this entire thing as a range here. I am not looking at this entire thing as one range. And let's actually go ahead and do this thought experiment here real quick. Let's just take this range and we'll pull it all the way and look at it as one range. And let me get rid of this smaller range real quick. So you can see that we're right at the value area lows of that range. We're back testing the value area lows right around the top of the descending channel, and we are finding some resistance here, but this does look like bullish consolidation to me. Now, a lot of people are projecting that if we do break these levels, we're going to be breaking back into our value area, and then we have a higher probability to move to the point of control of that range, which you can see is in confluence with our macro golden pocket from the all-time high down to our lows. We have our golden pocket riding up there. But what I am looking at, I am not looking at this as one range, because we had our clear, I call this the all-time high range. We had our clear all-time high range that was forming for 3 months or so up in this area. Now, Bitcoin had a very clear bearish catalyst that broke us down in an impulse out of this range, and it was quite a hefty breakdown of $10,000 or more. Since we've broken out of this range, establishing the market no longer wanted to price in the fair value of Bitcoin at these levels, we have been trading within a lower range for about 6 or 7 weeks now. Now, this range to me is the range that we're in right now, and I'm going to be playing this smaller range until, or this lower range, I should say, until it breaks to the upside or to the downside. But if we go back to our previous range, our all-time high range, you can see that that value area low is coming in right around, let's zoom out to the 4-hour chart. You can see that that value area low is coming in right around 92.5, 90, let's see, let's put it right on there. Yeah, 92,750 to 93K. And so what I think we really need to be watching for, if we break out of this descending channel and start to really push up, and we do need to watch for the SFP of these highs here, but say we SFP those highs and then we just come back down and bullishly backtest the channel, I do think we will work our way up to this 93K area. Now, in this 93K area, we have to watch for another bearish backtest of that value area low to see if we're going to reject it again, because this is going to be the market trying to decide whether Bitcoin's fair value wants to reestablish itself within our upper range, or if it's going to reject and continue to trade within our lower range or even break to lower targets. So 93K is an area that I am going to be watching as a level of resistance on the charts, where we could see Bitcoin stall out and see a rejection on the bigger relief rally. Let's go ahead and take this. Let's turn on our 0.5 as well. 0.5 you can see is right around that value area low. And so this area between like 92K and 92.8 is an area that I will be watching for a rejection. That's going to be the first big resistance for me, other than the swing failure pattern of these highs. Now, if we break back above 93K, I mean, there's a very, very high likelihood that we make it to 97K, where you can see our 97K golden pocket is coming in right around the point of control of our all-time high range, of our prior range that was considered the fair value for Bitcoin. And we also, if we turn on some of our levels here, we have a naked weekly point of control right within that confluence zone. And if we turn on our weekly levels, we have a weekly level right in that confluence zone. So I would say from 96K to 97K is our major resistance on the chart that Bitcoin needs to break. Now, if we are in that bigger ABC correction that I've talked about, this being an A wave, a B, a relief rally up to 97K, and we do reject there, we might see new lows come in down to 70K on the charts. Maybe even lower than 70K. So the relief rally does still look strong. It does still like Bitcoin wants to continue upwards. It is seeing some bullish consolidation here right before the breakout. I do think it's acceptable to come down to 83K to grab our micro range lows, liquidity lows there, and then see the push up. Actually, I think that would be the healthier thing to see. But overall, I do think that Bitcoin, if it breaks out, we have a very high probability to come up to 97K. Once we get to 97K, we are going to have to see how it's reacting. If we're pushing up there, say we get the swing failure pattern, make a higher low, come up to 93K, reject a little bit, re-enter, come back within, and we are seeing bear divs on the charts. As we are doing that, we do need to watch for a rejection on a overall macro lower high, where then Bitcoin could roll over and really start coming down to these lows again. We do have to remember these lows here. Now that we hit the 886 the other day, we do have a higher probability to come take out these lows. So overall, with Jerome Powell and the macroeconomy, the uncertainty in the macroeconomy, I do think it is possible that we do not break out to new all-time highs, but we do reject from 97K and continue to flush down. Also, as far as technicals go on the chart, if we just look at the technicals and not incorporate the fundamental macro analysis into that, we did have our monthly bear divs. Let's go on to our monthly chart. We did have our monthly bear divs on the chart where we do have, let's go ahead and turn off this channel for just a second. And let's get rid of this range for just a second. We did have our higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the momentum waves, confirming monthly bear div at the top of a 5-wave impulse, showing that we could see that bigger correction to the downside. Now, also, from our last cycle high, all-time highs to this cycle's all-time highs, we are seeing a regional monthly bear div as well. This, to me, is a bit concerning. Money flow does look to be topping out and maybe starting to come to the downside, or at least a small push down where we could work our way, into the mid 60s or into this range here again. So, yes, I do think the rally is going to continue, but I am a bit concerned about an overall lower high coming in on the charts where we then could see a bigger push to the downside. But overall, Bitcoin's just consolidating in this little range. We did reject from the golden pocket on the Jerome Powell meeting, and I do think we still could come down to take out our 83K lows. If we take out these lows in an SFP, I will be looking for a long to take up at least to the naked daily point of control, probably much higher, probably up to 90K area, and then 93 and then 97. Now, if we start to lose this range low at 83K and not SFP it, if we start to really break down here, I don't think there is too much holding us from coming all the way down to our first green box of support, which is the golden pocket, and it's a weekly. Now, the value area low, let me actually just go ahead and get rid of that value, because the value area low is shifted now. So the value area low used to be in confluence with that. If we look at our value area low from our 76.6 lows to, let's just bring it here, you could see that value area low was in confluence with this box. But now that we've developed a few days in the upper quadrant of this volume profile, if we pull this all the way now, you can see our value area is shifted upwards. So I do think it would be a bad sign to be losing this value area low, but we do have some pretty strong support down here, being our golden pocket retrace and our weekly level in this area where we could see a bounce. Now, that's only if we do not SFP these lows, will we probably come down here. That's the probabilities in my eyes. Now, if we break the golden pocket in the weekly, we only really have one level left, and that's that naked daily point of control. It's a naked weekly point of control, and it's the 786 of the range of this. The 786 of the push up so far, the rally that we've seen up so far. So we can go ahead and turn on that 786. You can see right there, 786, naked weekly point of control, naked daily point of control. And that is about it, guys. Now, as far as liquidity goes, I did show you we do have that liquidity that's resting up there at 90K 80, yeah, 89, 90K. But if we go just look at the last like 3 days of price action, you can see that our little range that we've been in for 3 days, we do have that liquidity that's resting below our 83K lows there. And if I go on to Binance's chart, we do have liquidity below our 83K lows, which I do think it would be actually healthy to come down to grab that liquidity before making the bigger move up. But you can also see we have some liquidity above the range highs. So above our highs here that we made yesterday and above our below our lows. So as far as local liquidity goes, oftentimes you will see market makers stop out both sides and then continue the move. So maybe come down to 83K, grab that liquidity, come up to the top of the range, reject one more time, come down to the point of control, and then see the bigger breakout. It is possible right now because we are consolidating at that higher. Let's turn on that descending channel again, if I can get this right. That descending channel, we are at the top of the descending channel, so we do expect to see some resistance here and some at least consolidation. But this consolidation at the resistance, the way we're consolidating here, looks bullish to me, and it does look like that Bitcoin wants to break out and continue to higher levels. The healthiest thing to see would be to see that liquidity grab of 83K first. Right now, I'm just playing those local levels that I talked about at the beginning of this video, and that's it. Okay, let's go on to Ethereum. Ethereum did see a move down to our box of support that we were watching, that we talked about in yesterday's video. And you can see we did get a little bit of a push down below it with that Jerome Powell hawkishness in the Fed meeting. But overall, if we zoom out to the daily chart, you can see that our box of support is holding just a wick past the box of support. But overall, this is the main support level too, because this is the point of control of the 4-year range from May of 2021. This is the point of control of that range. You can see we bounced very nicely from the value area low of the range. We reclaimed the point of control, and we're in the process of bullishly backtesting it to flip it to support to continue up to higher levels. So right now, if Ethereum can hold this general box of support that we're at, I do expect to move up to higher levels. And let's go ahead and zoom in on the 2-hour chart. It is looking pretty good so far, like it's wanting to hold. We, of course, could see some consolidation in a range form around here for a couple days. But I do expect to move up to our next purple box of resistance above us, which is a golden pocket, and it's our support resistance flip level, a very important support resistance flip level that we have on the charts. If we do come up here, we could see a rejection because, once again, Ethereum overall on the higher time frames is at a more macro support level, and oftentimes at more macro support levels, you start to form a higher time range accumulation zone, where the whales will tend to accumulate this for a few weeks before seeing that bigger push to the upside in an expansion of a Wyckoff pattern. So we could see a push up to this purple box, then we could retrace and we could just start to see some accumulation form. Now, if we break this purple box to the upside of resistance up here, we do have that naked weekly point of control up there. And I just want to talk about this naked weekly point of control because we do have some other confluence with that. If we do our Fibonacci pull from our last big highs before we broke this impulse down to our lows, you can see that I think it was our golden pocket was coming in. No, okay, golden pocket's there. It was these highs. Okay, let me go to these highs here. Yeah, and let's look at... No, okay. Oh, that's what it was. I'm sorry, guys. I'm confusing myself. The value area low of our previous range is there. You can see this was our previous range that we were trading in, and then we broke it down with volume. We had that very clear impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, impulse to the downside, and we've been consolidating ever since. Now that we broke that range down, that value area low is going to be acting as a resistance, and you can see it's in confluence with our naked weekly point of control. So this could be an area where we stall out as well. I don't have a box marked here because I actually like this resistance area up in the purple box above much better. But I just want you guys to be aware that that naked weekly point of control around 1789 to like 1780 could reject us, 1782. But the main box of resistance above is this guy up here between 1847 and 1906. So we have a golden pocket up there. We do have the point of control of the range, and it is, let's see, was our golden pocket there? Let's do that. golden pocket. Yeah, golden pocket's there. We have our golden pocket. We have our point of control of our range. We do have a weekly level, I believe, there. Let's see here. Let me turn on some of these levels. Oh, and we're still just chopping within this channel here. The top of the channel is up there. And naked weekly. Okay, I need to reorganize this chart. Let's just go ahead and turn on our naked daily points of control. Let's see if there is any naked dailies. Yes, that's that naked daily point of control up at the top of that box there. You can see that up there. Golden pocket, point of control, and it's the top of the channel. So we do, that box of resistance is our bigger box of resistance where we could find some resistance come in. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I was not prepared there. And then to the downside, if we do lose, let me go ahead and hide this channel now. If we do lose this support here, which is near the bottom of our ascending channel, if we do lose that support, then I do think the only level that really is interesting here is the daily and the value area low. If we go ahead and pull our range from the lows, this smaller range, you can see our value area low of this range is coming in right around that daily, around 1521. If we start to lose this, I mean, our golden pocket's below that. So if we look at our golden pocket, it's below that. But I do think that this is kind of the level that we really need to hold on Ethereum. If we lose this level, there's not much confluence for anything else. The only thing else I would say is the liquidity grab of these lows at your daily at 1472. Other than that, it's not looking, you know, we really want to hold where we're at now. Let's just say that. We really want to hold this point of control that we're at. But yeah, Ethereum doesn't look so bad, and Ethereum does look like it might continue to the upside. We might start to range here for a bit in this general area, but that bigger push up to our boxes of resistance is expected right now. Okay, now let's go to Solana, because Solana's been very, very interesting. And guys, in yesterday's video, we were chopping within this smaller trend. Remember, we were finding resistance at this pitchfork band. Resistance rejected, resistance rejected, resistance rejected. 3 times rejected from the band here. And I was saying in my video yesterday, I would like to see a bigger push to break the range lows into our high time frame bullish retest of the value area low. Now, this value area low goes back all the way to March 2024. This range we've been in for over a year. And we lost that range value area low. We back tested it. We rejected it. We made new lows. Came down to our major level of support. We bounced from our major level of support, flipped market structure bullishly, and then we were able to break back within this volume profile, showing a very bullish sign for Solana that we could break back in that volume profile. But since we had broken back within the volume profile, we had not come down to back test that value area low. And after breaking within a volume profile, oftentimes you will see a bullish back test to see if the market actually wants to confirm the fair value for that asset back within that range. Now that we have come down to this level, back tested it pretty much perfectly and saw a strong reaction, we can expect Solana to continue to work its way to higher prices, because Solana is showing bullishness by flipping what used to be resistance now into support. I was looking for this yesterday. I did take a long coming down into this, because if we look on our 15-minute chart, let's go to our 50-minute chart. You can see massive bull divs on the chart. All these lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves, money flow coming up. Really, really nice confirmation to enter your long at the bullish backtest of the value area low. So we did enter the bullish back on the bullish backtest, or I did enter on the bullish backtest of the value area low. And my first take profit area is not going to be the double highs here at 136. I mean, we could SFP these double highs into our 138.2 area of resistance. What I'm watching for, and then we could drop to the bottom of the band still. So I do expect maybe some consolidation still within this range. But, and even coming down one more time to the value area low for another back test of it would be acceptable. But as long as we don't lose that value area low. So now the most important level on the chart for me is that 123 area. If we lose the value area low, we're going to work our way down to our bigger supports below. And I'll talk about those in a second. But right now, being above the value area low and flipping it to support tells me that Solana wants to continue working its way up in this relief rally to higher prices. So the next area of resistance that I'm watching on the charts, it's the same as yesterday, that naked weekly point of control and that daily level between 138.2 and 138.4. This area here is an area where we could see the liquidity grab into that and then see a drop to bullishly backtest the pitchfork band, which was acting as resistance. So you can see the top of this pitchfork band, resistance, resistance, resistance. Again, just now, resistance. 4 times it's been resistance. So if we do break out of this pitchfork band up to this area and we see a small pullback from this area, what I would be expecting is another higher low to come in on the chart. So a pullback to backtest the band that was acting as resistance, to flip the band to resistance, to work our way up to our real resistance area. So this resistance area I want to talk about, because this is the big resistance area where we do need to watch for Solana maybe seeing a bigger correction from this area. We do have the point of control of that year-long range within this area. We have the naked daily point of control. We have a daily level, obviously large range point of control. That's this guy that I just talked about. We have the value area high of our smaller range, and we have the top of our pitchfork up here. And the smaller range that I'm talking about is just that range. Let's zoom out to the 2-hour chart. And if we look at the range from right after the impulse ended and we saw that 3-wave corrective Trump move, if we go ahead and pull that volume profile, you can see the value area high of that range is right in there as well. We're in the process of flipping the point of control to support. So yes, I do think it's a high probability that Solana works its way up to this 144 area, between 143 and 146 really. But Solana's looking bullish now. We are seeing bullish consolidation within this band, which oftentimes you see consolidation within the bands and then you break out. And if we break this upper band, the next major pitchfork level is right in confluence with this purple box at 144. So I am expecting Solana to continue. I'm still long on Solana. And even if we come back down again, I will look to maybe even add more. Okay, that's about, oh no, let's go into support levels now. Now, if Solana does lose the value area low of the range, the major range, the year-long range, if we lose this 123 to 123.3 K area, not K, 123.8 to 123, if we lose this, there's really no support left in this area until we get down to our pitchfork midline and our daily level at 112.75. I talked about this in yesterday's video, same support in yesterday's video. And then if we lose that, our next level of support is a really strong one where this is our strongest level of support below us. It's at 106 to 105 where we have the weekly, the daily, the naked weekly point of control and the naked daily point of control. So this area would be my next area of support to be looking for a higher low to come in on the charts for long. But overall, Solana's looking bullish, guys. Solana's looking very bullish, and I do think Solana can continue to work its way up to that 144 area with some small stops along the way. Okay, now let's go to XRP. XRP is bouncing from our box of support that we marked out yesterday. This box of support, well, we didn't mark it out yesterday. It's been on the chart for a few days, but we talked about it yesterday. This box of support is our value area low. So this value area low is it's only from December, but it's our upper range that we've been trading in from December. It is also the midline of our descending channel that we've been trading in, and it is the golden pocket, our local golden pocket pull from these lows to these highs. Yes, and the value area low. Yeah, value area low, local golden pocket, channel midline. So this area was an area to look for a bounce, and I do think we can consolidate around the midline for a bit, just like we did here, around the midline, consolidate for a bit. But really what we want to see with XRP to remain bullish, now, just like with Solana, what was acting as resistance being the value area low, now, it was support, flipped to resistance. Now we're flipping it to support again, or we're in the process of flipping it to support. Now that we are flipping it to support, I do want to see XRP hold this value area low, hold this general area of support to work its way higher. If XRP does hold that level, look at this, almost looks like a head and shoulders too. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, bottom reversal pattern, and then we could see that bigger push up. As far as pattern trading goes, you could look at that. But our first resistance area I'm looking at is the daily in confluence with our golden pocket. That box of resistance is between 235 really and 237. And then the next box of resistance, which is our much stronger resistance on the chart. This is the main resistance above us, is main local resistance above. No, I'd say it's the strongest resistance above us. Is this weekly level, a naked weekly point of control, the large range point of control, and our anchored VWAP. This guy here is really where we're looking for maybe this relief rally to end. If we continue to bust up, maybe see this, then see this, this is where we could really roll over and come down quite a bit, even if it's just to our golden pocket pull from that high, or from that low to that high, golden pocket. But XRP still looking strong overall, guys. All these coins are looking like the relief rally wants to continue. The thing is, if Bitcoin does start to lose those 83K lows and not SFP them and really starts to lose them, we will see bigger pullbacks on these altcoins as well. So just be aware of that. Okay, Link here. Link also came down to our box of support that we were looking at. That box of support was very similar to all these coins. We're breaking back within our volume profiles, and we're flipping our volume profiles. You can see it. We're breaking back within our volume profiles and flipping them to support. So we have the value area low of our bottoming range since the Trump tweet. You know, that's that Trump tweet there. And it was a daily level of support. So we broke back within our value area. We're in the process of bullishly backtesting that value. We're in the process of bullishly backtesting that value area to continue to work our way up to higher prices. Now, the next level of resistance above us on Link is going to be that golden pocket area that is in confluence with the point of control of that range. We also have a naked daily point of control in there and a daily level in there. So from really 13.8 to $14. That is the first area of resistance on the charts. If we break that, we do have some other guys above us. I do think one of the main areas is our big golden pocket area. This golden pocket pulled from this high to the lows. You can see that is around 15.47 to 15.6. We have a naked weekly point of control, a naked daily point of control, the golden pocket, and the value area high of that range. So this guy here is very strong. Let's add value. It's a value area high, and then we also have the naked weekly. Okay, yep. So that area there. Of course, we could see the SFP of the highs into this box here. And I believe that was our 786 up there. No, there's something up there. There's a naked weekly point of controller. Well, I'll check that out. Let's see here. Okay, no naked daily points of control there. Is there a naked weekly point of control there? If not, we just might go ahead and get rid of that box there. The only thing is the SFP of the highs. Yeah, the SFP of the highs is really the only thing there that would give us that resistance. So those double highs there, semi-equal double highs. Now, if we break our support that we're holding right now, we expect to move down to this naked weekly point of control in confluence with the weekly and the golden pocket. If we do our golden pocket pull from the lows to our current relief rally highs, we turn on that golden pocket. You can see that golden pocket is coming in right around that weekly and that naked weekly point of control. Also, if we pull our volume profile from the lows and just measure the volume of this this relief rally, you can see our our point of control is coming in there as well. So let's actually mark that out. POC, and then yeah, we got GP. Okay, yep, that is the area that I'm looking at for support. And then if we lose that, we'll just have to look down lower. You know, this daily has confluence with pretty close confluence with our 786. That's the next level. If we lose our 786 in daily, that's it. We'll probably come down to the lows again. But yeah, we were seeing on Chainlink, we finally came down to macro support that we were watching. Let me delete that now. I mean, we were watching this area for a long time. The one thing that's concerning me about this low here, we did not actually SFP the lows, and we did not actually hit our macro golden pocket. So I do think that it is possible that we come down here again and SFP, the double lows now, this low and this low, into our golden pocket. And if we do that, I will be looking for spot buys in this area. More spot buys in this area, I should say. Okay, that is it for Chainlink. Let's check Bitcoin real quick here to see what Bitcoin's up to. Let's zoom into the hourly. Yeah, just consolidating. Guys, I would really like to see a push down to grab these lows at 83K. That would be the healthier thing to see for Bitcoin if we want to see a true breakout, to grab those range lows, grab that liquidity, stop out those traders, and then make the real move, because we have had some people longing within this area. If we look at our CVD, you can see here that our CVD since yesterday, overnight, we kind of were pushing up into that Jerome Powell meeting. You can see that fresh longs were coming in towards the top. You know, the open interest was increasing. It wasn't the best, but it was increasing. We were seeing fresh longs come in into our golden pocket, into our value area high of our small micro range, our 3-day range, and the bear divs that we saw on the chart, on the 12-minute chart. I don't know if I showed you guys those, so I can show you that. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. We did see those small bear divs. If we zoom in onto the 12-minute chart, you can see here coming up into that meeting, higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the momentum waves, into our golden pocket area. If we go from the high to the low, golden pocket, and that gave us, and then you can see our value area high of our micro ranges there as well. So that gave us that little bit of a push down. The technicals were showing it before Jerome Powell came out with Hawkish. But we still haven't taken out the range lows, so we're building liquidity down there. In a move down to take those out would be the nicest thing, and then we could see the breakout up. Okay, that is it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If this video was helpful to you in any way, would you please hit the like button just to help grow the channel, to help get me out there, help the algorithm push the channel. Also, if you got anything, if you subscribe, I put out a video almost every single day, usually except for Saturdays. Updating you guys on the latest supports and resistances, what I'm looking at, all these different things. So if you would do that, I'd appreciate it. I do have a sponsor of the channel, MEXC. There's a link in the description. If you want to sign up under MEXC, you will get discounts on your trading fees. And depending on how much you deposit, you'll get up to 10% cash back. And you can get up to $20,000 in futures trading bonuses. Thank you guys for your support, and I will see you tomorrow.